Hey everyone, it's Fiktxun Crypto back at it again with another video. Today we're going to be going over the Flare slash Songbird network. We have some interesting things in that community that I want to highlight, especially with like Flare Finance and this new project on that it has attached itself to Flare, which is Pangolin DEX. So we're going to go over that. But before we get into this video, I want to say this quick message to everybody. you know, it's okay to be where you are at in life right now. Sometimes life gives you a set of circumstances that you don't have to go as hard as you think you do. We call those times in life rest periods. So this may be a time in life where you have to take a break from certain things to get to that next level and figure out, okay, this is what I want to do in life, or this is what I want to do. So don't beat up on yourself too bad for taking periods of time for yourself to rest and to gain understanding to move to that next level. I often hear a lot of people say like, keep going, keep going, keep going. And sometimes that is the worst advice that we could hear from anyone. Sometimes it's good to stop, but that's my message for today. Let's get into this video. So right here we have Flare Networks. This is their official Twitter, 222.5 thousand followers. Man, this is a big project and it's constantly growing. I have a lot to say about Flare in a good way because I just like what's going on. You usually don't see a project kind of come out like this and over the course of several months just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, but actually provides tools and things to the ecosystem that is necessary for real growth in the crypto space. So we got to shout out to Flare, shout out to Hugo Filion, and their whole crew. Anybody building on this network or attaching themselves to this network, you have chose a golden one. This is Flare right here. Now, Digital Asset Investor said he has just wrapped some Songbird. Cool. Welcome to the community. This is what we need. We need bigger people in the community shedding some spotlight on Songbird because Songbird really is it's like the first step in order to being implemented into the Flare ecosystem. It's a test bed. So a lot of people need to learn about Songbird before they kind of learn about Flare. In my opinion, both projects are really, really good. They go hand in hand. A lot of people are worried about this airdrop and when this network is going to launch and how long is it going to take, or are we going to get our airdrops and this and this and this. But we have to keep in mind what Flare Networks is doing, and this is just one of the corner pieces of this project. So this tweet is from Bogata. Shout out to you. I'll tag you in the video. Bridges are hard, but the collateral based security model of Flare Networks is the only one that currently accounts for how hard bridges are. So basically, from what I'm getting from this tweet, that Flare is almost like a collateralized insurance for bridges in a way. So, we're going to do some more deep dives into Flare, especially because it's coming close to launch date and token distribution. It's time to get back into Flare. Shout out to Mickey B. Fresh. If you really want to learn about Flare and Songbird Network, like literally the ins and outs, almost everything, Mickey B. Fresh is the go-to person. Man, his knowledge on these ecosystems is just amazing. It's amazing to hear every video they come out with, and it's just inspirational as well. Right here, this is a tweet from JC Collins. It says, all of this from just holding XRP from December 12th, 2020, and so much more to come. This ecosystem will be next level, and unlike anything else you see, Flare Networks, Songbird Networks, Flare Finance, Canary X Token, Pangolin DEX is, which is Pangolin underscore Flare. All of these different forms of money and liquidity and just different types of projects formed from literally one being. And now we have all these different communities, people coming together, making videos like this one and others. Everybody, shout out to everybody who is contributing to this ecosystem and bringing awareness to it. It's really, really cool. Now we have Pangolin DEX making a tweet right here. They have different forms available on the Songbird network via their decks. If you do want to make some extra tokens, you can lock yourself into some of these liquidity pools. Add liquidity via Songbird. You got Songbird X5, Songbird PSB, Songbird Oracle, CNXY. This is really cool. Then I think this is a NFT. This is an NFT project right here. So that's very, very interesting that we already see liquidity pools versus NFT projects. And let's see if I can exit out of that. So yeah, shout out to Pangolin Dex right here for coming from the Avalanche blockchain and building a tool on the Flare networks, Songbird networks, excuse me, to bridge more and more liquidity, get us a couple extra tokens. Now we have Flare Finance right here. This is another amazing project. I believe they have about 7 products that they are in the works of launching right now, if I'm not mistaken. 106.8 thousand followers, huge, huge following, really good marketing as well. I love the marketing for Flare Finance. They have a lot of information about their ecosystem as well, and just general things in these ecosystems that need to be broken down in a better kind of way than most people would break it down. This is why it's good to have a big, big team. And I believe what they're doing at Flare Finance is going to help a lot of people in the future. They have an article coming up that we're going to go over about wrapped NFTs, which is really cool. And that kind of opens up a new gateway of possibilities and ideas that can come from that, because we all know that NFTs are more than just pictures, monkey pictures. No disrespect to the monkey pictures or anything, because even those pictures can be wrapped in a way to make some new types of form of liquidity or just anything. It's really crazy how we can use these NFTs and these different networks for the features that they have. Now, they have just released an update to their white paper, Project Scopos, and it is a tool used to index blockchain data. Currently, Scopos is live on the Songbird and Coston networks and is an integral part of our ecosystem, providing data to Flare Drops and Flare X. And what I'm starting to see, some of these tools, excuse me, are kind of like the new legacy system tools. You know how we have like stock market data. This is the same thing, but this is blockchain data. This is really, really cool. This is a new feature that I'm very interested in learning about. I haven't read the white paper myself, but I am going to dive into it more than likely sometime this week. Been very busy just dealing with life and my business and everything, trying to get that up and running how it's supposed to be. Now we have this other tweet from Flare Finance. Lots of exciting additions to their ecosystem planned for quarter 4. Can you guess which one we haven't mentioned yet? Comment below to guess. And this was a couple days ago, if I believe. Yeah, this was on September 27th. So this may be over with right here, this giveaway. But Casino Coin, which was a project that was previously on Ethereum, came over to the XRP ledger, and now they're bridging over to the Flare networks. Flare Finance is creating some type of bridge for Casino Coin. And we know that Casino Coin is a really nice project on the XRP ledger. I believe that this is one of the top, I would say Casino Coin is in my top 5 or top 7 projects on the XRP ledger. I believe this project, Casino Coin, does have what it takes to get to that next level of adoption as well. Really nice planned out project as well. As long, but it's just like how Flare Finance is. These teams are really, really good at what they do, excuse me. And I just love what's going on in the ecosystem. Now we have this tweet again from Flare Finance, and it says, "Did you know about wrapped NFTs or NFTs that could be wrapped as well?" Read this article below to learn about wrapping NFTs and how they can help to push the boundaries of NFT utility. So we were reading over this, and I love this article because they kind of broke down some new things to me about different ERC standards. Also, something that I want to research a little bit more. It's a lot of different ERC standards, and this is something that we all need to know. We know the ERC 20 tokens. We know a bunch more ERC tokens. 721s, but they talk about ERC 998, ERC 4799. I mean, this is a bunch of different standards, and all of these standards have different capabilities of what they can do. So while we always see the most popular ERC tokens being minted or created, um, we need to figure out what these new forms of ERC tokens are and how we can contribute to making our own ERC standards as well. Because I know a lot of people at home have great ideas for tokens and they may already be there, and or they may not. So this is why we need to do more research. But it also says right here that wrap NFTs can also expand NFT utility and functionality beyond which is offered by the ERC 721 standard and composable of the ERC 998 standard. The ERC 4799 standard enables designated ownership of a wrapped NFT to someone else while the original NFT is held in escrow via a smart contract. So this got me thinking, like, okay, we got liquidity tokens. Maybe this is already in the crypto space. I was thinking about liquidity contracts. And it needs more thought. I kind of come up with things, and sometimes just off the top of your head. So, what are liquidity contracts instead of liquidity tokens? Yeah, so this kind of got me thinking about like different forms of liquidity and possibly different, you know, ERC standards. One thing I was thinking about was like liquidity contracts. And I know tokens are basically contracts in themselves, but we have things called smart contracts and they kind of automate finances. So what about liquidity contracts? I was like, what if they were fractionalized contracts that could be divided up into a group of people? Say, for instance, if we went and bought a house or something like that, and everybody had a piece of that house because it was able to be some way minted, or the property square footage or something was like some way minted on the blockchain. And these contracts are the key to having um, that property in our names. And this is why I believe, I know this is kind of a little spin on this. This is why I believe that everybody kind of has to get um, verified on the blockchain. And if people don't want to use verifiable blockchains, I believe that's just a good thing as well. But this is going to open up some types of, and elaborating back on liquidity contracts, I was looking at something like futures. Basically, if we had fractionalized pieces of this property and somebody wanted to put that up for some type of different asset class, maybe a stock or a bond or um, any type of asset class that they wanted to go in and go out of in a certain period of time. Or maybe people like different cities, cities have all of this unclaimed property. What if the people or the banks or something who have this unclaimed property could put these properties and register to the blockchain and have a new form of currency or a basket of assets that they could go into with these liquidity contracts and collateralize against different markets. I know the this idea is kind of all over the place and I have to think about it, but I like to throw that idea out for people to think about it themselves. Last but not least, we're going to go over the Songbird chart and what I actually see on this chart. So we can start with a monthly just to see where we are at. And I mean, like every other thing, I believe that Songbird is at its turning point. I don't think we're going to bleed down to exactly this monthly wick, which is the lowest possible price on this chart, which is around 1.6 cent, 1.5 cents. So let's go to a weekly chart and let's see where we're at. You see, we got that huge drop, gain, the drop again, and the last drop where it bleeds. This is a clear sign to me that I believe that what is the Songbird is going to start to uptrend. Also, with the distribution coming up of the Flare Network tokens, you can kind of start to see this trend kind of giving you a smile back. I don't believe that we're going to be going too much further. Also, this looks like a doji is being formed on this daily chart right here. And the thing about this doji is, let's see, horizontal line. Like it's a lot of liquidity down there, but I just don't believe that we're going to go too much lower. I really don't see this going below a penny. It will be crazy steal. But I believe right here, right up under 2 cents is a great steal. We have so much liquidity to the upside that needs to be gained. Look at this wick right here. I mean, it spiked all the way up to 0.24 cents. So to me, if we could honestly see some gains on Songbird, let's just put a fib on this thing and let's see from the last high of this trend where we could possibly be going in the future. So if we draw a Fibonacci retracement tool on this, from the last high of this trend, which was right here before we, made that meltdown move, I could see this going as far as up to 5 cents. Let's zoom out and let's even do this on a weekly for people who need to see some bigger and larger numbers. I definitely believe that we could get back up to 9 cents. And if we just draw what is this, a measurement ruler, if you were to take the risk to reward ratio, you're looking at about 375% gains on this move right here. And this is a 3618 movement. Also on the 1618, it is about a 175% move. Like I said, I don't see I said solo. I don't see Songbird going too much lower right here. So that's what I'm looking at for my trade review on Songbird. I can't see too much downward price action come in the long term or even the short term. So you let me know what you think in the comments, everyone. It's Fiktxun Crypto. Peace.